Hey grippers, welcome back to the Death Grip Garage. Just got home from a nice 150-mile gravel loop ride this morning, and I thought it'd be a great time to show everyone my process for checking the oil in a Honda XR650L. If you own one of these bad boys, and you know it's not as straightforward as checking the oil in a lot of other bikes. And I think there's a lot of guys and gals out there that they check their oil and they do it wrong, and then they think the bike's used a bunch of oil, and then what can happen is you can end up overfilling it, which is hard on the engine. And everything else. So I'll show you my process. Spoiler alert, it's not that much different than what's in the manual, but I think there's a lot of people that either don't have the manual or it's not clear on what the manual is trying to have you do. So I'll show you my process, and if you get some value from this video, please like, subscribe, comment, and share, and join me at the end for a toast. Let's go. So why is the Honda XR650L different to check its oil than a lot of the other bikes? It comes down to the lubrication system that it's got. So Honda XR650L has a dry sump lubrication system versus a wet sump lubrication system. So most people are very familiar with wet sump. Wet sump means the oil is stored inside the engine. It's in the oil pan. It's in the bottom of the engine. If you think about a Suzuki DR650, it's got a sight glass window. You can see the oil in there and what level it's at. Or there's a dipstick that goes down into that oil in the bottom of the engine, and it tells you how much is in there. That's how you check the oil level. And sometimes there's a little difference between checking it cold or checking it hot, but in general, you can get a pretty good sense for the oil level, regardless of how warm the engine is. The Honda XR650L is a dry sump system. So other bikes that have a dry sump system are most Harleys, older Triumphs had it, Yamaha TT500s, XT600s, they all had dry sump systems. And the dry sump system, the main thing is that the oil is stored outside of the engine. So in the case of an XR650L, the oil is actually stored in the frame. It's up the frame up here is hollow and it's full of oil. And that's why the dipstick is right up here, right up high. So you can check the level of the oil in the frame. Like a Harley usually has an oil tank. So they usually have an oil tank under their seat. And to check the oil on a Harley, you're checking the oil in that tank that's underneath the seat. But it's a dry sump system. That means the oil is outside of the motor. The reasons that the engineers sometimes use the dry sump versus a wet sump, one, it can make the engine allow the engineers to make the engines a little bit shorter, since you don't have to have space underneath the crankshaft for that oil to be sitting in a little pool. The engine can be a little bit shorter, and with the XR, a big single like this, you want the engine to be a little bit shorter because it's already a tall engine. It can help a little bit with cooling because you're getting the oil outside of the hot engine, more out into the breeze depending on how it's set up. And then your crankshaft isn't spinning in a big pool of oil in the bottom of the engine. It's called windage, so it helps reduce some of the friction inside the engine. So that's some reasons why you might have a dry sump. It's a little more complicated to build because now you've got to pump the oil outside of the engine. You got to pump it back in. There's additional oil lines. It might be an oil tank, all of that stuff. But there are some good mechanical engineering reasons to do it. All right, so my process for checking the oil in a Honda XR650L. You want the bike to be all the way warmed up and hot. Don't check it cold. If you check it cold, there's a good chance it could read low because over time, some bikes hold the oil in their oil tanks better than others. But over time, the oil that's up here in this oil tank can find its way back into the bottom of the engine. There are little valves and things that should hold it up in the tank, but they don't always hold it in there well. So oil can find its way from the tank over time into the bottom of the engine. So you want the engine all the way warmed up, all the way hot. I always check it at the end of my rides. It's just kind of part of the process of riding this bike is when I get home from a ride, if it's of any distance, I check the oil and I do it when it's all the way hot when I get home. The other thing is you don't want to come in, wrapped out, shut it off and check it. It really needs time to idle and for the oil level to stabilize in the oil tank up here in the frame. So I get home, I let the bike idle for 30 to 60 seconds. And the other key that the manual doesn't tell you is to me, or from my experience, it makes a big difference that the bike needs to be sitting up and down. So a lot of times I'll grab my paper towel or something, whatever I'm going to check it with, and then start the bike back up or leave it running on the side stand, whatever. But I set it up upright like this, and then I let it idle for 30 to 60 seconds and just let everything stabilize. Don't put it back on the side stand. Just let it run. For some reason on the side stand, you'll get different readings. Let it run at idle on the in a straight up and down spot. If you're gonna have it parked for a while, it's a great time to turn your gas off and go ahead and let some of that fuel that's in the carburetor burn down. So once it's idled for 30 to 60 seconds, shut the bike off. I usually give it about 15 seconds. I don't know if there's anything magical about that time frame. And then you unscrew your dipstick, pull it out, wipe it off. This is what the reading you get when you first pull it out. That's also not correct. Wipe it off, then you put it back into the frame. You do not thread it in. You just set it in there, nice and flat, and then you get your oil reading. If you can see that, I'm sitting at about 60% up the hash marks between the low and the high mark. Good point to make here. Maybe this doesn't affect everybody. For me, I've had several different dry sump bikes. And for some reason, some of them don't like to have their oil level all the way full. I don't know why from a mechanical perspective, but I had a Buell, didn't want the oil level to be full. This bike here does not want the oil level to be all the way full. If I have it all the way full, it'll burn it or puke it out the breather until it gets down to about the 50 to 60% mark. And then it stabilizes. So if you've got a bike and it feels like it's always using a little bit and you keep putting it back to the full mark, maybe let it go a little bit. See if it just keeps working that level down. Or it could be like my bikes. It'll get it to a happy spot and kind of stop using it. So the happy spot that this bike likes is that 50 to 60% through the hash marks spot area. And so when I do an oil change, that's the fullest I make it. Not to turn this into a big oil discussion, but what oil do I use in the bike? I think the manual calls for 1040. I've been using 1540 Motor X, full synthetic in this bike for years and years and years. Full disclosure, I do get a little bit of product support from Motor X, but it's great oil. I do use that 1540, especially when it's warm here in Iowa. If I'm going to be riding the bike in the winter, I might drop down to a 1040 Motor X, but for the most part, I run 1540, and it's the bike runs great with it, shifts great with it. It runs quiet as far as internal noises and that sort of thing. So I've been real happy with the Motor X products, and on this bike I run the 1540 weight. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Again, there's definitely a process to checking the oil in these things, but once you kind of get the hang of it and it kind of becomes a routine, it's not too bad to get consistent results. If you have any questions, make sure and put them in the comments. We like to end our videos with a toast here. It might not be that I need another motorcycle. It might be that there's a motorcycle that needs me. Cheers.